While picking greens in the garden, I uncovered an old pair of pruning shears, and for a moment it felt like meeting an old friend I had not seen in years. I brushed the dirt off, held them in my hand, and smiled. These shears had seen a lot of seasons. They were rusty, dull, and forgotten, but I knew right away they deserved another chance, not a trip to the trash. I rinsed the dirt off with a stiff brush, and as the shape came back, I could tell right away these were real pruning shears. Old, solid, and made for garden work. Not a cheap tool at all. I wanted to see what shape these shears were really in, so I gave them a simple test. First, I tried cutting a small piece of wood. I squeezed hard, but the blades just slipped and left a mark. Nothing clean at all. Then I grabbed a sheet of paper and tried again. Instead of a smooth cut, the paper bent and tore. That told me everything I needed to know. The edge was completely dull. This was not a small problem. If I wanted to use these shears again in the garden, they would need a proper sharpening from the ground up. Before sharpening, I take the shears apart so I can work on them properly. I use a screwdriver to remove the center bolt and slowly separate the two blades. I keep my hand over the part so nothing jumps or rolls away. Once they are apart, I place each piece neatly in a small tray. The blades, the bolt, and the spring all stay together. This step matters. When everything is organized, the rest of the job goes smoother and you avoid losing small parts. Now I pour enough Coca-Cola into a shallow tray to fully cover the blades. I lay the pruning shears flat and let them soak. This step is not a trick. The cola helps loosen rust and old grime that has been stuck there for years. While the blades are resting, I move on to preparing my sharpening setup. I take a long bolt and clean it so it spins smoothly. Then I grab two types of sandpaper, one 400 grit and one 1000 grit. The 400 grit is for removing damage and heavy wear. The 1000 grit is for smoothing things out later. I cut narrow strips of each and wrap them tightly around the bolt. Starting with the rougher paper, I use a small drop of super glue to hold the sandpaper in place so it will not slip when spinning. Once the glue sets, I chuck the bolt into my drill and give it a quick spin in the air to make sure everything is balanced. If it wobbles, I stop and fix it. This matters for control and safety. Now I have the blades soaking, the rust breaking loose, and a simple drill-mounted sharpening tool ready to go. Taking time here makes the next steps faster, cleaner, and much more effective. After the blades have soaked for a bit, I lift them out of the Coca-Cola and you can already see the rust starting to soften. I take a piece of 400 grit sandpaper and gently scrub the surface by hand. I focus on the flat sides and the cutting edge, removing loose rust and old buildup. You do not rush this. A clean surface makes the sharpening work much better and gives you more control in the next step. Now I move to the drill setup. I turn the drill on low speed and start with the 400 grit sandpaper. I guide the blade along the spinning paper and keep the original angle steady. I let the sandpaper do the work and never force it. After a few passes, I switch to the 1000 grit paper. This smooths the edge and removes the rough marks. In less than a minute, the blade already feels sharper and cleaner. Now I move to the final honing step, and this part always surprises people. I take an old AA battery and peel off the thin plastic wrap on the outside. Under that wrap, the metal surface is smooth and just firm enough for fine polishing. I put a small line of regular toothpaste right on the cutting edge of the blade. Toothpaste works like a very mild polishing compound. I hold the battery in one hand and the blade in the other. I rub the edge gently along the side of the battery, keeping the same angle you used before. Slow, steady strokes work best here. You are not trying to remove metal. You are smoothing and refining the edge. After a few passes, I wipe the blade with a paper towel and add a little more toothpaste if needed. You can feel the difference right away. The edge starts to glide instead of drag. This step removes the last tiny burrs and leaves the blade clean and sharp. When I am done, I wipe everything dry and get ready to put the shears back together. This simple trick gives the blade that final sharp finish without any special tools. With the shears cleaned, sharpened, and back together, I make one last cut. and the branch snaps clean with almost no effort. That is the moment that makes all the work worth it. An old tool, buried in the dirt, is useful again and ready for the garden. This kind of simple repair saves money, keeps good tools out of the trash, and brings back the satisfaction of fixing things with your own hands. If you enjoyed this project, give the video a like so more people can see it. Subscribe to the channel for more practical DIY tips you can use at home. And leave a comment below telling me what old tool you would like to bring back to life next.